one more guest to go. It has been a packed show, but I'm very curious to hear what our next guest has to say. He got some bad news mid last week. Found out that Dominick Cruz, big fight for him, big opponent for him, was out of his fight on December 19th. Did I say December 19th? No, December 30th, UFC 219 in Las Vegas. Very important fight in the bantamweight division. Now everyone wants to know what's happening with Jimmie Rivera since that news came out. Aljamain Sterling has been campaigning for a fight against him. And then you saw on Saturday, if you watched the UFC event in Virginia, Marlon Moraes, as I said around an hour ago, didn't just ask for this fight, didn't just call out Jimmie Rivera. That was an impassioned plea, almost like begging for this fight, a very emotional call out, if you will. And so that got me thinking, let's hear what Jimmie Rivera has to say about all this. He joins us now via the magic of Skype. There he is, Jimmie Rivera. Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So let's start at the beginning. What was your reaction when you found out that Dominick had to pull out of the fight?
I was wondering what knee he hurt. And then we heard it was a foot or a leg. And then we heard actually from someone else that it was actually his arm, that he broke his arm. And I just, I felt bad in a way that sucks because I've been there. I've been hurt. No one wants to be hurt. So I was like, I said, I hope, obviously I hope he has a speedy recovery. I didn't put anything out on social media, but it is what it is. And then I got a line of people starting to say, I want to fight you, or all this other social media publicity stuff. So it was very interesting to see and go through it. And it sucks in a way because it was going to name the #1 contender, and this was definitely going to be a definite. And I was looking forward to the fight to actually fight him as well. As he's a legend in the sport. He's been around forever. It was definitely the next step and to help me get closer to the belt.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You postponed your honeymoon to take this fight, correct?
Yeah, I actually postponed my honeymoon twice. One for Brian Caraway last year, then he got hurt, and then postponed it for this fight. We actually moved it to next year because this is something, fighting, this is something serious. It's my second passion, something serious. You have to be there mentally and physically, and taking a week off during Thanksgiving while I'm in fight camp was just not, not smart, not right. So thank God I have a lovely wife that is always there to support me. And we moved our honeymoon again to next year in the beginning of the year, but we have no idea what's going to happen now.
You know what the lesson here is? Never postpone your honeymoon.
Yeah, I wish, huh?
Yeah.
But it's not something that, we factor in it happening. We're assuming, I've someone asked me the question beforehand, what if Cruz gets hurt? And I can't think the whole camp he's going to get hurt. Then I won't train right. I won't prepare right. So I'm like, all right, Cruz is in. We're going to fight. And then getting that text from my manager and saying, he called me and then he texted me. Well, he called me. I said, hey, why'd you call me? Don't tell me Cruz is hurt. And call him back and find out he is, sucks. And, it's very emotional and sucks in the long run. And now it's like, all right, what's next?
The great Lloyd Pearson of Balgi Group was the bearer of bad news. I'm sorry that he was the one to...
Always.
Yeah, that's probably part of the job. So what do you want? Forget about the people who are calling you out. If you had your way right now, and I say to you, okay, what do you want as a result of this? What's your perfect scenario?
Fighting TJ for the belt.
And if someone says to you, well, you don't just get to skip the line, so not skip the line, but you were going to fight someone, why should you get a title shot now? What's the response?
My response is very simple. If Dom got hurt, then I was like, I understand. So I would say, all right, let's let Cody and I fight, and that helps Cody get back to title contendership, and I would fight him as the #1 contender, but he's hurt. So both Cody and Dom are hurt, so I automatically, that makes me #1 contender. At the end of the day, I'm 5-0 in the UFC. No one's at my ranking. I'm on a 20-fight win streak. No one has that. And I'm undefeated at 135. So my first 2 fights of my career were at 150 at a catch weight. And I learned the hard way. My second fight I lost by split decision. I learned the hard way that I had to cut weight. This is going from amateur pro is a completely different thing. And I'm undefeated right now. at 135. So I think the next and most reasonable is fighting TJ for the belt. And my credentials are there. I won 3 belts, defended 3 belts in 3 different organizations, and vacating them. I'm in the UFC now. I'm 5-0. No one's on that winning streak. It makes the most sense.
Did you or your management express this to the UFC? And if so, what did they say?
We said, we want to, Lloyd said from Ballinger Group, my manager said, we want TJ. You know what I mean? And I know TJ and Demetrius Johnson were kind of going back, but now I'm seeing, that the fight hasn't been talked about yet. It's been just, Dana's talked a little bit about it, but it hasn't been offered. I see TJ trying to get the favorite fight. I see TJ really trying to get the money fight. And, I understand in a way, but in my scenario is that I've told people before, listen, I'm not in the UFC to make money. I'm in the UFC to fight for the belt. I could care less about the cash. I don't deal with it. I let my management deal with it. I'm in there to fight for the belt. Once I have the belt, then I have to defend against everybody in the division. I know everybody's calling me out now. Everybody wants to fight me. And my response is just get in line. You know what I mean? I want to fight for the belt. And then after that, it's my duty to defend my belt, just like Demetrius Johnson did against everybody in the division. And that's one thing I definitely admire him, that he has defended his belt against everybody in his division, basically. So it's like, it's the next step. And I think it's, in my case, is the smartest thing to do is fight for the belt.
Did you watch the event on Saturday? And if so, did you see Marlon Moraes' post-fight interview?
I did. I didn't understand a lot what he said. All I heard was Jimmie Rivera, so I assumed he was calling me out. His words were very mumble jumble, and his accent, is very hard. So I couldn't understand everything. My wife even mentioned me, he said he wanted a bonus in there. And I was like, I don't remember him saying any of that. With what he said about something bad blood, or someone asked me, I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about at all. So
you don't know of any, because he seemed very emotional. Like this wasn't just your typical. He wanted nothing to do with the Dotson fight. He didn't want to talk about it. He just wanted to look at the camera and speak to you and say December 30th. And again, it didn't feel like your typical call out. But you don't know why he's so emotional. Why he feels like this is so personal.
Nope, not at all. I mean, we were actually very cordial. We trained for a while I was getting ready for the Faber fight, because I went down to Nick Catone's to train with Frankie Edgar, and I got to train with him for a long while. And after a while, me and Marlon started to spar more. It was less of me training with Frankie. And after that, we actually never trained again, because the Faber fight went in, I won, and I was out for a little while because of my eye. And then that was it. And then once Marlon got signed, I was like, all right, well, there goes really good training. So that's kind of done. But I have no idea. I have no idea from it. There's nothing else I can say besides he's going to, kind of have to wait his turn, because there's like 5 other guys that want to fight me too.
So you watched the fight. What did you think of his performance against John Dotson? Did you think that he won?
Honestly, if I had to pick it out, and this is being me neutral, I thought Dotson won the fight. He dropped him in the first round. The second and third round, they were pretty close rounds. And I really felt like Dotson landed more shots. I haven't got to see the stats yet. I know the judges saw what they saw, so, they picked him. Okay, he won. But I didn't think that. But again, I'm not a judge. And I'm not sure, because every judge is a little different. I'm not sure what they're trying to look at to get, for a win. You know what I mean? Some judges are different. Takedowns are big points. But I feel like if you get a takedown, you have to do damage. Otherwise, it doesn't do much. If you take someone down, they get back up. What did you do? Nothing.
Now, what's the history here with Aljamain Sterling? Why does he want to fight you so badly?
Another one. Honestly, all these guys want to fight me, because like right now I'm at the gate. If they beat Jimmie Rivera, they are going to get a title shot. You know what I mean? They're going to be like a number 1 contender. They're going to be in the running for that belt. And I understand. Listen, it's a smart business move to call me out, and I completely understand. And even with Rafael Santos, even what he said, it's a smart business move. He fought TJ and beat him. TJ beat him. The trilogy match, I completely understand. It's a very smart business move. With Sterling, it's just simple. I tried to fight him before he got in the UFC twice. I tried to fight him once I was in the UFC. He said no. Now I'm in a position that I'm doing better than him, and he could, if he fights me, he has a lot to gain from it. Now he wants to fight me. So it's just like one of those things like, yep, you got to get in line too, man. You're not the only one.
Do you think that the UFC will give you this title shot? Like, honestly, do you believe that? Or is that what you want but are preparing for something else?
I am just training right now and staying in shape. As far as the UFC goes, I don't know what they've said to other fighters, but my management has not been called, and we haven't got any names for any replacements.
Okay.
So as of right now, I'm not fighting December 30th.
Oh, wow. Okay. But are you still preparing for December 30th, or have you taken your foot off the gas?
No, I'm still training. I took the foot a little bit off the gas because I'm not going to kill myself right now. I'm not having a fight, so I'm still training every day. Instead of me going 100% hard, I'm going like 80%.
Okay. Do you want to stay on the card?
I would love to stay on the card. I would love, but I have to do, I actually, at the end of the day, this is the thing that becomes where you have to become, step yourself away from being a fighter and look at it more like a business, because I run a business and I understand how business works. And when someone like, I got asked about, well, if TJ and Demetrius Johnson fight, you're going to be mad at the UFC. I said, no, it's a business at the end of the day. They have to make money. It's a good money fight. I completely understand. I'm a business owner. I run a business. I know how it is. Like I said before, I'm willing to work with UFC and figure out what's the next solution. But as of right now, I don't know what to do if I haven't heard back from them yet, and I don't know what they're trying to offer. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not in it for the money. When I sit down and get a name, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll fight them. I'll fight them. I'll fight them. And then my management and my coaches and myself sit down and they put it in check and like, listen, pros and cons. This is why you should. This is why you shouldn't. I think I want you to get more money, whatever. I'm like, all right, at the end of the day, this is why I have these people surround me, because they're looking out for the best of me.
Yeah.
A fighter's mentality is a fighter's mentality. They want to always fight, but it just doesn't work like that. So I'm kind of in limbo right now and not sure what's going to happen next.
And just curious, if they say to you, we are going to do the TJ versus DJ fight, are you open to fighting other people?
Yeah, I think I'd be open to fight other people, and I definitely would sit down and talk to them and see what options we could do and what works the best. But I am. I mean, I can't say no, but I don't know what to. I got to see what the options are, what they're going to offer, and what I get out of it, what I benefit out of it.
Right. Do you have a preference?
I'm not looking for a paycheck.
Yeah.
No, I think I don't have a preference. Though I think what makes the most sense, who's doing really well, is Dillashaw, if that happens. Yeah. Because now you got Dom and Cody who are out for a little while, and I could see them fighting in the future for a grudge match. And I'm from there. I can see Dillashaw fighting, but I'm not sure. Again, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just waiting for them and to figure out what the next step is.
That is a great call. He's won 10 of 11. His last loss, his only loss of that stretch, to TJ Dillashaw, just got his first knockout in 14 years. So I don't think anyone could accuse you of ducking anyone if you're calling out the guy who's on the best streak other than yourself in that division right now. So that's certainly interesting. We'll see if they offer you anything. By the way, just curious, did they did you expect TJ to beat Cody at 217? Were you one who was thinking that he was going to win, or were you surprised by that?
I said I wanted TJ to win.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Cody on paper looked better than TJ. And I was surprised he got the knockout. I really think Cody might have been a little dazed or just didn't see the hook punch coming. And that's what happens. You don't see the punch coming. He hit him right in the button. He went down, and that's it. That's all it takes.
Were you pulling for TJ because you and Cody have a bit of a history as well?
I have no idea what history we have. He said something on Instagram one time. I replied, and that's it. He stopped responding.
Okay.
There is really no history with anybody in the division. I think maybe the most history might be Sterling. But even that, he's just not a worthy opponent to help me. Like, a lot of the guys calling me out are not going to get me closer to the belt. You know what I mean? Okay. What are they going to benefit? What have they done that I haven't done yet? You know what I mean? Like, no one's on a 5-fight winning streak in the UFC. No one's on a 20-fight winning streak in their career. No one's won 3 belts, defended and vacated them. No one's undefeated at 135 in my division. So I don't know who has the credentials to really fight me besides the champ.
And by the way, were you placed right next to Sterling at 217? Did you sit right next to him at the event?
Yeah. My wife and I were walking down. I'm like, oh, look who's in front of us. But then he actually got up, didn't even look at us, didn't talk to us or anything like that, and walked over to the other side. And I was like, wait, so a couple weeks ago when I'm at the fights, cornering one of the girls fighting, you had a lot to say. And now, I'm at the fights and I'm with my wife, because my wife wasn't there at the time. She was down in her seat actually watching the fights that time. You have nothing to say. So I thought it was kind of funny. My wife and I looked at each other, we just laughed. It's okay.
So no words exchanged.
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry you guys are going through this. And I hope that you don't get a fight in January and then postpone your honeymoon one more time. Your wife deserves it. She deserves Wendy's. She deserves the honeymoons. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Wendy's. Is that her favorite again? Is that the one?
I'm going to the... No, it's McDonald's. It's
McDonald's.
But now she's actually vegan. She's
what?
Vegan now.
What happened? In 5 months?
She saw What the Health. She saw What the Health on Netflix. Okay. And that just turned her around and she went completely vegan.
Oh my God.
And so I'm actually taking a little stop at the jewelry store this Friday to, get her something nice because of all this is going on.
Wait, and also because she's not giving you any meat for dinner anymore? Is that you're trying to get her back on the...
No.
You're good with it.
I'm not going vegan. I love my, chicken and stuff like that.
All right.
I love my meat. That doesn't sound right. I love my chicken and stuff like that. I'm not going vegan. But she is completely vegan now. It's funny. I let her be. It is what it is. To believe it or not, from learning from her, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that you really can't eat. It's really unbelievable.
I wish you guys the best. Sorry this happened. Good luck with whatever happens. And for your sake, I hope you get that fight that you're looking for, the title fight. And please do keep us posted if you can. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I will do. I know you'll be texting me or texting Boyd, and I'll shoot you a text back.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. All the best.